Hi Sunflowers and Bloomers, it's Martina here at Bloom Beyond with Light Theme sitting on my lap here as well, which is timely because I felt called to chat about productivity guilt, and that is something in which comes with the territory of perfectionism, and it's very prominent or common to have it because it's part of the conditioning, the perfectionistic conditioning. And I've spent years, nearly a decade, to really unravel what the productivity guilt was all about, as well as being able to learn or relearn or whatever you want to say, how to rest and being able to rest properly and not just like surface rest, which is what I know a lot of high performers actually do, but it's not deep rest. It's not soul rest. It's not something that actually rejuvenates you. Oftentimes, we tend to think of rest as, doing something that is considered self-care, like taking a bath or, doing something like that, when in fact, deep rest is more mentally and emotionally and energetically, I think, than it is actually physically doing something, right? Even though that it can walk hand in hand too, obviously. I see with a lot of high performers with perfectionism that's not the case, that they try to rest, but they just can't turn off. You can't turn off the switch in the mind to rest. And so I'm wondering, what is it that productivity guilt really is about? And I came across this quote in Rupi Kaur's poetry book, Homebody, where she basically has written out poems about productivity guilt. And I thought that they would be descriptive. So it says here, I measure my self-worth by how productive I've been, but no matter how hard I work, I still feel inadequate. So you might have a filled calendar, you might have a lot on your list, to-do list, you might have lots coming up, and you might be productive per se, you might do a lot, but you're unable to not do anything. Or if you try to not do anything, you feel like you shouldn't. You feel like you should be doing something, right? That is what productivity guilt is to me. If you feel a lot of discomfort and a lot of, she wants to go. If you feel a lot of discomfortable emotions when you don't do anything, that signals to me that there is shoulds there. There are perfectionistic needs there for you to do something in order to feel at peace. And if you need to do something to feel at peace, I don't care what it is, then that is not real peace. That is not real balance at all. Being able to overcome perfectionism, bloom beyond perfectionism, is about being bright, brave, and balanced. And balance is when you're able to step back and fully allow yourself to rest. And to not shame yourself for resting. Not shaming yourself for sleeping. Not shaming yourself for watching a show. Not shaming yourself for going out and doing something fun. Not shaming yourself for not doing anything, right? It says here too, actually the chapter is called Rest, which is interesting. There are years in me that have not slept. Yeah, that is very, very, very common for a lot of high performers with professionalism too, that you simply don't allow yourself to sleep. You cut down on sleep. If there's something that you're to cut out, it's sleep, right? And you stay awake longer hours and you don't sleep as well either. You might wake up with feelings of numbness or emptiness or stress to get things done. Very common too with perfectionism. It says here, productivity anxiety. I have this productivity anxiety that everyone else is working harder than me, and I'm going to be left behind because I'm not working fast enough, long enough, and I'm wasting my time. I don't sit down to have breakfast. I take it to go. I call my mother when I'm free. Otherwise, it takes too long to have a conversation. I put off everything that won't bring me closer to my dreams, as if the things I'm putting off are not the dream themselves. Isn't the dream that I have a mother to call and a table to eat breakfast at? Instead, I'm lost in this sick need to optimize every hour of my day so I'm improving in some way, making money in some way, advancing my career in some way, because that's what it takes to be successful, right? I excavate my life, package it up, sell it to the world, and when they ask for more, I dig through bones trying to write poems. Capitalism got inside my head, inside my head, and made me think my value, or my only value, is how much I produce for people to consume. Capitalism got inside my head and made me think I am of worth as long as I am working. I learned impatience from it. I learned self-doubt from it. I learned to plant seeds in the ground and expect flowers the next day. But magic doesn't work like that. Magic doesn't happen because I've figured out how to pack more work in a day. Magic moves by the laws of nature, and nature has its own clock. Magic happens when we play, when we escape, daydream, and imagine. That's where everything with the power to fulfill us is waiting on its knees for us. Productivity anxiety. The reason this makes sense to me is because I have felt this to my core, in my bones, myself, this productivity anxiety. And I know for myself too that it's all about being able to actually align with nature, the rhythms of nature, the rhythms of the seasons. That is what is truly fulfilling. That is what brings peace. That is where true creativity is found, in the play, in the fun, in the dance, right? But it might not make sense if you are stuck in productivity anxiety, if you feel that for yourself. But just know that it's possible to bloom beyond it. It's possible to feel truly rested and to allow yourself to breathe, allow yourself to be, allow yourself to simply surrender the need to always do something and always be something and always create something. And if you'd like to know more about that, then you're welcome to apply to join the Bloom Beyond Tribe, where we're sunflowers and bloomers in there, creating a life and business of freedom from perfectionism with the power of the subconscious mind, where we're together actually beginning to see the value of rest, the value of releasing productivity guilt, and being here now instead. See, We can work at our own pace and still be successful. Yeah? We can work at our own pace and still be successful. We can still be blooming when we're working at our own pace. You can grow at your own pace. If you were waiting for a signal or a permission, I'm your permission. Allow yourself to give yourself that permission to grow at your own pace. Stay bright, brave, and balanced.